Namaste, very good morning to all of you. In our today's session, we are going to discuss functions of HR department. In our previous session, we had discussed first and the second function. First was for the scientific recruitment of employees. That was the first function of HR department, and we had discussed the scientific promotion of employees. That was the second function. Now we are starting with the third one. The third function is that HR department is going to perform, and that is for creating a class of efficient employees. And in fact, this is the biggest function of any HR department in any organization. That what they'll have to do, they are responsible for creating an efficient class of employees. The employees are working with the full capacity and the potential what they have, and they are giving the best output to the organization. So that's one of the most important function of HR, and that is the only purpose, or in fact that is the biggest reason that why companies have started giving importance to HR department. So the third function is creating a class of efficient employees. And for that, what is important, we have to give proper training to the employees. We have to find out the situations into which they are getting happy. We have to find out the conditions that is disturbing them, that is making them upset, and we should always try to avoid such kind of situations or conditions into the organization, so that employees are going to be relaxed into the organization and they are being the most creative and giving the best output to the unit. So that is the third function, creating a class of efficient employees. Moving ahead to the next one, that is for obtaining the details about employees duties. A very important thing, it is related, or it is more concerned with the keeping employees records and job analysis of the employees. In fact, job analysis is a new term for you people, but we would be discussing when you would be having that unit, and probably in your second chapter we are having job analysis as a separate topic for the discussion. And job analysis is having two main points: job description and job specification. As of now, for you, it is important to understand that job description describes job and job specification describes job holder, that is the candidate who is required to perform a specific task. So all these functions are very much connected with the details about employees duties, that what kind of work they are going to do into the organization, isn't it? So HR obviously is going to perform such kind of administrative task. Okay, suppose there are 100 employees working into the organization, then which particular employee is going to perform which particular task, isn't it? It has to be very clear. Then and only then people are going to work efficiently, and we will be having the desired outcome from the employees. Now simply take the example of our college. As our college is having around say 1500 to 2000 students, then you would be having certain specific subjects for specific semester. So see, we would be having different departments into the college. Say we are having BBA, we are having BCom, we are having BCA. Alright, so for each department, for each particular year or the semester, we will be having different subjects, and for each subject we will be having different teachers. So it's very important that a teacher must know that for which particular semester and in which particular course, which particular subject he or she is going to deal, isn't it? So the subject allocation is nothing but the duty that is being allotted to each and every employees into the organization. Here it's into our college. Okay, so getting it. So this is something wherein we are going to do the job analysis. We are describing the job. Say a job is of a teacher. Say for teaching staff it is teaching as the job. For non-teaching staff it is either administrations or accounts or some any other work which is concerned with maybe public relations. So these are all connected with the non-teaching staff. So job analysis is going to describe two things. Job description is going to describe the job કે પર્ટિક્યુલર જોબ કઈ ટાઈપની છે, પર્ટિક્યુલર ટાસ્ક શું છે, what a person is supposed to do. Now if suppose one person is applying to work with MVM college, then he or she should be very clear that what he or she is supposed to do, whether he is going to be in the office as an administration staff or he or she is going to work as a teacher who is going to teach different subjects to different class. Alright, so that is job description. And job specification is about say it is concerned with a specific subject. Now if we are talking about BCA course, then naturally the teachers should be very well acquainted with the technology. Alright, and if we are talking about BCom or BBA, we are looking for the people, those who are good at management, those who are good at economics, those who are good at accountancy. So these all types of faculties would be more suitable with BBA and BCom department. So that is job specification. Getting the difference, right? અત્યારે ભલે આટલું સમજાય છે, that is fine, but we are still going to discuss the same thing in very much detail in our upcoming unit. Okay, so the fourth function is that it is going to obtain the detail about employees' duties. The next one, fifth, obtaining satisfied employees. If you remember the very first definition of HRM, then naturally you will find that if you remember that, right, obtaining a satisfied and satisfactory group of employees. If you still remember these words, if you can still recall that definition, you will be able to remember the same. So that is again one of the functions of HR department over here. That is, here we want to obtain satisfied group of employees. That means that employees have to be happy, and to make them happy or to make them satisfied, what we'll have to do? We'll have to provide them proper treatment, we'll have to take care about their self-respect, we'll have to give them proper working condition, we should create a good and healthy organization culture and environment, we should provide whatever are the basic facilities like proper sanitation, proper ventilation, cafeteria if required. So all such basic amenities should also be available to the employees. So it is very much important, and that is again the function of HR department, that what you will have to do, you will always have to make an effort to obtain satisfied group of employees. Moving ahead to the next one, for establishing smooth relations, that is the relationship between employee and employer. So HR department is again going to work for this. It is always trying to have the harmonious and cordial relationship between the management and the employees. For this particular objective or for this particular function, whatever activities HR will find it is suitable to do this particular thing. Suppose see some informal functions being organized by the company. Why? Because they want to make then informal kind of atmosphere into the organization, that let employees get the chance to know each other, let them know their colleagues, and let the boss also know the employees, right? So it is very important. So this is going to have, or this is going to make the relations automatically smooth. If there is a healthy relationship between the management and employees, naturally the organization is going to develop. So that is the sixth function and moving towards the last one. And the last function is something which is concerned with reducing the production cost. Now see, if HR is performing all the above functions, ઉપરના જેટલા પણ 6 functions છે, if HR is able to perform each of these functions properly, naturally HR is going to help the company in reducing the production cost to a great extent. How? Because see, what HR is going to do, HR is going to create a good, suppose it is creating a good organization culture, work environment where people are satisfied, employees are happy. Now if employees are happy, what are the benefits an organization is getting? Now see, if we are happy and we are working, naturally the work becomes a game, game in the sense that it is a fun. જ્યારે આપણે ખુશ હોય ને ત્યારે આમ કામ કરવાનો આપણને કોઈક વખત થાક નથી લાગતો, because you are very happy on that day. So if we find that every day we are happy, naturally we would be able to give a better output. But if we are sad, if we are frustrated, if we are upset, then some or other way the outcome gets adversely affected, isn't it? કે આજે મારું પેપર બરાબર ન ગયું, યા તો આજે મને બહુ મજા ન આવી, or I could not perform good today because I was disturbed, I was not happy, I was upset, I was not well, some health issues were there, some family issues were there. So after all, we all are human beings, right? So see, I know we can take one more very good example of this thing, that if the person is happy, then he is performing great. And I know performance, if you are interested in cricket, you would be knowing this thing, that particular cricketer is in form. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is playing in form. What is that form? Form is the tempo with which the person is playing, the player is playing. And if he is playing in a good form, naturally the player, the cricketer is going to perform the best. And ઘણી વખત, if you are interested in cricket, you might have seen that some of the cricketers, those who are very good players, but still our cricket team BCCI is going to drop some of the cricketers intentionally. ઘણી બધી વખત સારામાં સારા પ્લેયર્સ હોય છે કે જેને વન ડે મેચમાં કે ટેસ્ટ મેચમાં they are not allowing to play. Why? Because they are not in a good form. Some or other way they are into the pressure. Maybe they are physically injured, or maybe they are unfit to play, or whatever is the reason. But they are not in a good form. And whenever a cricketer is not in a good form, he will not be able to perform the best. ને પછી નર્વસ નાઇન્ટીઝમાં આઉટ થતા હોય. If you would have been fond of cricket, તો તમને ખબર હશે, રાહુલ દ્રવિડ વોઝ ધ પર્સન કે જેને મેક્ઝિમમ નર્વસ નાઇન્ટીઝમાં આઉટ થયા હશે. 95, 99, 98, 97 રન ઉપર મેક્ઝિમમ ટાઈમ અગર કોઈ ક્રિકેટર આઉટ થયું હશે, then it has been Rahul Dravid. Was actually a test cricket player, but yeah, this is what he has faced. Not because of the form, but some or other reason. Sometimes it was the problem concerned with the form, that he was not playing in the form. So that is something which has to be kept in mind. અગર just imagine કે કોઈક વસ્તુ સ્પોર્ટ્સમાં આ વસ્તુ આટલી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ હોય, then just remember that this is the business. તો કેટલું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ હશે કે આપણા એમ્પ્લોઈઝ ફોર્મમાં હોય. And see, even for students, હવે તો people have understood the importance of HR in every particular field. અને અગર તમે નચિકેતા સ્કૂલનું નામ સાંભળેલું હોય, I have not visited, but I got to know a very good system of that school. આ સ્કૂલ કોણ ચલાવે છે ખબર છે? બહુ મોટા અને બહુ પોપ્યુલર હાસ્ય કલાકાર સાંઈરામ દવે. He is running the school in Rajkot, Nachiketa School. And Nachiketa School is having the system that whenever the students are having exams, then they have to go to school 1 hour before. Suppose, see, paper is at 9 o'clock. The students are reaching to school at 8 o'clock. Over there, they are having one place it's a sort of assembly place જેને આપણે કહી શકીએ, or a prayer hall. ત્યાં each and every student is going to go there. They are not going to carry their school bags with them, and some music is getting played, and for almost an hour, જ્યાં સુધી આપણી કેપેસિટી હોય, સ્ટુડન્ટની કેપેસિટી હોય, they are allowed to dance. જેવો ડાન્સ આવડે એવો. But that is something which is a warm-up kind of thing, and it is having, see, wonderful results have been seen from this thing. Usually આપણે શું જોયું હોય, એક્ઝામ્સના લાસ્ટ મોમેન્ટ સુધી, you might not also be an exception. Many of the students I might have seen that still the examination bell is ringing. તમને આમ આન્સર શીટ્સ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટ થવા માંડી હોય, and still બેગ મૂકવા જતા હોય ત્યાં સુધી બુકમાંથી વાંચી લેશે. Let me refer some of the points. Let me refer the important questions. Let me refer the important points. So people, the students used to do that, and sometimes, no doubt, it may have that benefit, but sometimes you are unnecessarily creating a pressure on yourself, and it's not required. Again, you might have watched that movie Three Idiots also, right? Brain શું છે? It's a brain. It's something to bring something creative. It's not something which is a pressure cooker, isn't it? Right? ત્યાં પ્રેશર છે એ કોઈ દિવસ કોઈ મેજર જ નથી કરી શકતું. Why people are facing stress, and whatever stress we are facing, આના માટેનું કોઈ મીટર છે? બ્લડ પ્રેશર વધી ગયો હોય તો એના માટેનું મીટર છે, or heart rate વધી ગયા હોય, then we can get to know. But do we have any meter to measure the stress? We don't have. અને કહે છે ને જ્યારે સલમાન ખાન કહે છે કે એન્જિનિયર્સ બड़े સ્માર્ટ होते हैं, ऐसा कोई मीटर ही नहीं बनाया कि जो यहाँ का प्रेशर नाप सके. So this is something which is very much, it's badly affecting. And if you know even about the medical college, every year it has been the record. Every year medical students માંથી every year one student is committing, at least one student is committing suicide. Now see, for what reason the person, the student, the brightest student, medical admission ક્યારે મળે? તમે super bright હોય ત્યારે, then and only then you will be able to score around 98 to 99 percentile, and only those students are going to get the admissions in medicals. Otherwise, you can go for the donations and payment seats, એ બધી વસ્તુ અલગ. But until and unless you are bright, you usually don't get admissions in medicals. And still, after getting, after having the dream come true, students getting admissions in medical, and just in the first year they are committing suicide. Now, what could have been that reason? Why this much of pressures for the students, for the medical students, those who are going to be the doctor? And it's very important that the doctor has to be calmed down. ડૉક્ટર અપસેટ થઈ જાય તો શું થાય? પછી તો પેલા જોક્સની જેમ ઓપરેશનમાં સીઝર્સ અંદર રહી જાય ને ગ્લોવ્સ અંદર રહી જાય ને આવું થાય. We cannot tolerate, we cannot go with this kind of situation in case of doctors, isn't it? So this is very much important that each and every individual has to be calm, stress free, relax. But stress is something which is inseparable part of human life. આનાથી ક્યારેય નહીં બચી શકાય. અત્યારે સૌથી મોટું સ્ટ્રેસ હોય તો શું છે? કે વી આર સ્ટક એટ હોમ. દેટ ઇઝ ધ થિંગ વિચ ઇઝ ક્રિએટિંગ ધ બિગેસ્ટ સ્ટ્રેસ ઓન એવરીબડી. કે હવે તો થાકી ગયા છીએ, લોકડાઉન સુધી તો હજી ઓકે હતું કે ચલો આપણને એમાં હતું કે એવરી ફેમિલી મેમ્બર વોઝ એટ હોમ, એન્ડ people used to play some games, and mom used to try new recipes, and you were also trying new recipes, and it was a family time which was, for that we were literally striving. કે ઘણી બધી વખત આવી ઈચ્છા થતી હતી પણ આટલો બધો ટાઈમ મળતો નહોતો. So lockdown in that way was very positive. We got a super family time. મજા આવી ગઈ હતી બધાને. Zoom meetings કરતા હતા, અને people were talking to the family members and friends. But આટલું બધું પ્રોલોંગ થઈ ગયા પછી Now the life is back to the normal and people have started working, and we are just working from home or you are learning from home, and you might have realized કે feel નથી આવતું. Why? Because we are missing that environment. આપણે કહે ને માહોલ નથી બનતું, અને એ ટેકનોલોજી કેન નેવર રિપ્લેસ દેટ થિંગ. ટેકનોલોજી આપણને ગમે તે વસ્તુ હું અહીંયા ભણાવી દઈશ પણ ક્લાસમાં બેઠા હશું એવું તો ક્યારેય નહીં થાય ને. વી વિલ નોટ બી એબલ ટુ ઇન્ટરેક્ટ વિથ ઈચ અધર. You may have some doubts, you may have some good examples that you can share, but you won't be able to do that, isn't it? So it is something where we'll have to face with all such things, and some or other way this particular condition is creating stress, and because of stress the output may get suffered. અને અગર આના લીધે આઉટપુટ સફર થતું હોય then this is not good. If you are very well handled, if we are very good at handling stress, well and good, right? The people, those who love to be at home, they would be enjoying work from home. But those who cannot concentrate, especially if I tell you about some females, those who are working from home, for them it becomes really very very difficult to handle the family and work and maybe kids at the same time. Why? Because kids are 24/7, kids are at home, all the family members at home, they're all having different demands. Food cannot come from outside, and she has to focus a lot on her job. ઘણી બધી વખત it really becomes very difficult to work from home, and it may result in stress. કે જે કદાચ ઓફિસ પર જઈને વર્ક કરતા હશો તો આ સ્ટ્રેસ નહીં આવે. તમે કદાચ કોલેજ જઈને ભણતા હશો તો sometimes you may get some lecture free. The faculty is on leave, you are getting some free lectures and you get good time to spare with your friends. But we don't get such time at home. જેવા તમારું યુટ્યુબમાં ભણવામાંથી ફ્રી થયા એવા પાછા કામે લાગી જશો. યોર મોમ વુડ બી એક્સપેક્ટિંગ કે ચલો અત્યારે તો લોકડાઉનમાં કે ઇન ધીસ કન્ડિશન વી ડોન્ટ હેવ એની સર્વન્ટ ઓર મેડ કમિંગ એટ હોમ. ચલો હજી કચરા પોતા કરવાના બાકી છે, આ કરી નાખો, કુકિંગમાં હેલ્પ કરો, આ કરો તે કરો. બટ વેન યુ આર ગોઈંગ ટુ કોલેજ તો એક લેક્ચર ફ્રી હતો તો કોઈ એમ નહોતું કીધું કે ચલો અત્યારે આ કામ કરી નાખો. સો સમ વે ઓર અધર વે વી ઓલ વર ગેટિંગ સમ મી ટાઈમ. And it is very important, I tell you, right? આ વસ્તુ બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે. જેટલું આપણને થોડુંક પણ સે ઇટ બી જસ્ટ હાફ એન આવર. અને અત્યારે કદાચ you might not realize the importance of this particular time until and unless you get so occupied with the work. કારણ કે અત્યારે ટુ ધ મોસ્ટ તમારે માટે કયું કામ હશે? સ્ટડીઝ. And to some extent you would be helping your mom in the household things. Nothing much more than that. But whenever you would be occupied with a lot many tasks, so many responsibilities, at that time it would be difficult to spare some time for yourself. And if we get that me time, naturally you will be able to relax. અને એટલા માટે જ કહેવાય છે ને કે આખા યરમાં એક વીક એવું કાઢીએ કે જેમાં we do the activity that is something which is the most favorite to you. Maybe you go for a holiday, right? આખું વર્ષ કામ નહીં કરો. Just take a break, go somewhere, visit some new places. વીકમાં one day. Why we do have Sunday, right? અને આ તો હજી આપણા કન્ટ્રીમાં સન્ડેઝ છે. શું કામ? Because we get lots of public holidays. Otherwise in western countries they get 2 days holidays in a week. Just imagine that how much of importance they have given to the relaxation. અને જેટલા વીકેન્ડ માની લો કે આપણને 2 days વીકેન્ડ મળે છે, આપણે કેટલા રિલેક્સ થઈ જાય છે, કેટલા બધા પેન્ડિંગ કામ એવા હોય છે કે that we were not able to do and now we are able to do because we get 2 days of holiday. Otherwise Sunday એક જ દિવસ મળતો હોય તો શું થાય છે કે just you are getting the half day feeling આવે કે ચલો આજે સેટરડે નાઇટ છે, કાલે વહેલા નથી ઉઠવાનું, આમ નથી કરવાનું. And but as soon as there comes the Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, again the same feeling of Monday blues. So companies might have understood the importance of this thing, that people should get enough of break. So week what I was telling you, આખા યરમાં get 1 week break. In 1 week take 1 day break, or if possible take 2 days break. In 1 day take 1 hour break. Take 1 hour, 1 hour every spend karo ke that is the most favorite. You do the activity which is most favorite to you. Say it be singing, say it be dancing, say it be doing exercise, whatever that makes you happy, do that. તો રિમેનિંગ જે 23 hours થાક હશે ને એ ભૂલાઈ જશે. That's very important. પણ અનફોર્ચ્યુનેટલી અત્યારે તો મેક્ઝિમમ ફ્રી ટાઈમ આપણો શેમાં જાય છે? આ ટૂલ જેટલું હેલ્પફુલ છે, આઈ ટેલ યુ, એટલું જ હાર્મફુલ છે. અ મોબાઈલ ફોન લિટરલી કિલ્સ લોટ્સ ઓફ આ પ્રોડક્ટિવ ટાઈમ, ઇઝન્ટ ઇટ? થોડાક ફ્રી થઈને હાલ ને વોટ્સએપ જોઈ લો, ચાલ ને આમ કરી લો. અને ઘણી વખત એવું બને છે કે જે મેઇન કામ માટે યુ આર ટેકિંગ મોબાઈલ ઇન યોર હેન્ડ, યુ ફોરગેટ ટુ ડુ દેટ. જે કરવા લીધું તો એ તો ભૂલાઈ ગયું. So this happens, and ultimately what happens, that it results in increased time, and as the time is money, naturally it is incurring more cost. So here what we want to do is that we want to make our employees more stress free, we want to make them more relaxed, and that's how we want to make them more creative. And if employees are very creative, they will be working very efficiently into the organization, and to a great extent it helps in reducing the production cost. Otherwise શું થાય? If employees are frustrated, they are upset, and sometimes it may result in some accidents also. It may result in the breakdown of the machines. It may also injure the employees. So these are all the limitations of stress, limitations of poor working condition, and ultimately it results in increased production cost. So that is the last but not the least function, and that is reducing the production cost. How we can reduce the production cost? By making employees more productive. And if employees are more productive, they are always going to work in a better way, they are going to work more efficiently and effectively, and that is how they are helping in reducing the production cost, by reducing the wastage and by optimum utilization of available resources. So these are all the functions of HR department. Okay, now we are going to move to the next topic, and that is qualifications and qualities of HR manager. Alright, so by just establishing HR department into the organization, all the problems of the unit are not getting automatically solved, isn't it? कि खाली HR department बनी गई, and we are dealing with each and every HR problem, and we are trying to make our employees happy and everything. It's not getting done automatically, right? Simply by establishing HR department, the problems are not going to get solved. What is even more important is to have the best HR manager. So here we are going to discuss that what should be the qualities and the qualifications of an HR manager. Now see, if we think of a person that who could be a good HR manager, here I have listed some of the qualities, right? But before discussing that, just think of the person who is able to deal with all the human beings in a nice way. Now see, even in our family also, we would find that some other people, those who are able to deal with each and every other member in a proper way, and some other members that those who are always going to fight. So sometimes if you are having, usually we have girl students, so usually daughters are always having a very good bonding with father. તો આપણી કંઈક વાત આપણને કન્વિન્સ કરાવી હશે, then what you are going to do? You would be very smart that you are going to talk to your dad, and dad is going to give you the permission, so naturally mom will have to agree. But अगर directly mom पास गया, then she might not agree, isn't it? So that was a smart way that how can we can get the things done, because each and every situation has to be dealt in a right way. So તમે જ્યારે આ વે ચૂઝ કર્યું, then you were knowing કે choosing father would be a right choice in a particular thing. Now suppose, see, if you want to buy high heels and your mom is in against of this કે ના નથી જ લેવાની, because આગળ જતા બેક પેઇન્સ થાય, નવા પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ થાય, સ્પાઇનલ કોર્ડના પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ થાય, and it is true. But still, we are young generations and we are very much fond of heels. So you might have seen the heels in the market and you wanted to buy, you went with your mom for shopping. So બીજું બધુંય તમે કીધું લઈ દીધું, but she didn't agree to buy heels. She said no, that you buy any other footwear with a medium heel, but don't go with high heels. So she denied. Okay, then બાકીની બધી વસ્તુ લઈ દીધી and still you are not happy. You got a beautiful dress, you got a beautiful purse, some beautiful accessories, a smart watch, you got so many things, but still you didn't get the footwear, and so you are not happy. So what will happen? You are coming home and still with a sad face. Then dad naturally will understand, and dad is going to ask you what happened. You are going to tell your dad, I wanted to buy heels and mom didn't allow me to buy heels. What a dad is going to do? Dad is not at all concerned with any of the health problems. Dad is just concerned with his daughter's smile. So dad is always going to give you the permission. Okay, તને ગમતા હતા? કેટલા રૂપીસના હતા? 500? Okay, અલે આ 600 લઈ જા. પેટ્રોલ પુરાવાને જોશે ને? So he would always be allowing. And that is how you are going to get a smile on your face again. So the person, that is you as an individual, were knowing that mom is not going to agree. Then how are you going to convince your mom? Through dad. That was the best way. And mom also agrees કે okay, હવે જા લઈ આવ, daddyએ કીધું છે તને. Suppose now the second problem comes, that you want to go for a picnic, maybe for 2 days, 3 days, and for that mom would be agreeing કે હાશ 2 દિવસ જશે તો શાંતિ, and dad would not like your absence કે ના તું જા તો મને ન ગમે. Dad is not agreeing. Now what you are going to do? You are going to make very good use of your mom, that mom, please convince dad, no, all my friends are going and I also want to go for a picnic. Then your mom is going to convince dad when he is in a good mood, let her go, let her enjoy with her friends. She will be happy, then we will also be happy. And finally the dad agrees and he's asking, how much is the picnic fees? Chalo, take it, go and enjoy. So you were smart enough that how can you get work done from dad or mom, and in which particular condition, who is going to agree and who is going to disagree, and accordingly you approached. Picnic માટે you found that mom is the right choice, you approached mom. For heels, you found that dad is the right choice, you contacted your father. And this is how we are also in a way HR manager, and we also have that quality that how can we get our work done. The same thing we expect from the HR manager of the organization. So for that, certain qualities are very much required into that person who is becoming an HR manager. And into that, the first and foremost quality that we expect from the person, and that is selflessness. The person should be able to think from other person's point of view. अगर हूँ आ जगह हो तो, now see, I tell you, if the person is able to think in this direction, I tell you 99% of the problems will get solved automatically. So HR manager has to be a kind of person who is having empathy. Sympathy nahi, I am telling about empathy. Empathy means what? That you are able to think from other person's point of view. So there has to be selflessness into the person. So that is the first quality we are expecting from HR manager. Then let's move to the second one, thoughtfulness. Thoughtfulness is the another quality that we always expect from an HR manager. Why? Because as he is having the understanding about human beings, he knows the importance of human element, he is able to analyze the human behavior, he is able to understand group dynamics. So બધી જ એવી વસ્તુઓ છે કે that is making the person very much thoughtful. And if he is a thoughtful person, then and only then he would be able to analyze each and every corner of the situation, and then he would be taking a particular decision. Now see, let us take a simple example that if we want to adopt the Google culture in our company, then whether it is going to work or not. That is the situation. Company is ready to invest whatever amount HR is asking for its employees. The condition is that company wants the best outcome from employees. Then is it possible in our organization that if we apply that culture, then are the employees going to give that best output or not? So for that, it is very important that HR should be able to justify that, and he should be able to convince both, the top management as well as to the employees. Otherwise, what will happen that suppose if company wants to adopt the culture like what Google is having or what Facebook is having, wants to give the best amenities, the best services, organization culture, everything. So company is ready to invest a huge amount for the employees, but if we do not get the outcome from employees, then what? So HR manager is a kind of person who is able to convince the top management that if we are investing, naturally we are going to get all these benefits from this, and employees are getting satisfied. On the other hand, he should also give a thought that what employees will be doing. Now it may also happen that employees may misuse this culture, right? What employees are going to do? Some we may find, see, human beings are of all types. તો ઘણા એવા એમ્પ્લોઈઝ પણ મળી શકે આપણને કે even though they are very much efficient, they are not going to work, they are simply going to come to the company and they are going to relax. They're going to enjoy the facilities what company is providing, whether it is 7-star cafeteria or it is a gym or it is a sports center or a game center. Whatever the facilities company is offering, employees are enjoying and they are not much focusing on their output. Now, can the company afford this? Naturally not. So it is very much important that HR manager has to be very much thoughtful. Okay, whatever decision we take, what will be the outcomes of this particular decision? And for that, it's very important that he has to be thoughtful. Let's move to the third one. He must have deep knowledge of justice. Now see, if we find that there is the feeling of injustice among employees into the organization, not a single strategy is going to work properly. કાંઈ પણ હશે ને, it's you are not going to get good outcome if people find that there is no justice. Unfair treatment hase, then unfair treatment can never make employees happy. If one is happy, another would always be sad, isn't it? Sometimes we also find why I am not allowed to go out after 11 o'clock and why my brother is allowed to go out. No, but we know it is for our safety only. Our parents have made this rule. But young age hoy, મને કાંઈ નહીં થાય. I am going with my friends. Why don't you allow me to go out? Why my friends' parents are allowing? Why can't you allow? Why my brother can go out? Why can't I go out? And if this feeling of injustice comes, it spoils the relationship. So HR manager has to be a person that he should have a deep knowledge of justice. Otherwise, nothing is going to work. તમે ગમે એટલી facilities employees ને આપશો, you cannot make them happy if they find that there is injustice into the organization. And especially the people those who are having the feeling of injustice કે મને કેમ પ્રમોશન ના મળ્યું, મારું કેમ આમ ન થયું, આ મારા કલીગને કેમ પ્રમોટ કર્યું, મારી કેમ ટ્રાન્સફર થઈ ગઈ. So if the people are having this kind of, if the employees are having this kind of feeling, naturally they'll never give you the best outcome. So HR manager must have that understanding and knowledge about justice. And આ તો બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ વસ્તુ છે. It has to be practiced into each and every organization. The organization has to be very fair, whether in case of the salaries and wages being given to the employees, or the treatments which are being given to the employees, the working conditions being given to the employees. But there has to be some equality, some justice into the organization. So HR manager must have a deep knowledge of justice. Moving ahead to the fourth quality, courage. Now courage is very much required when HR is especially putting the point to, putting some proposal to top management. Now see, જ્યારે ગૂગલે ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ આ બધું સેટઅપ કર્યું હશે એમ્પ્લોઈઝ માટે, Google might have developed the game zone, Google might have developed the restaurant, Google might have developed the massage center, Google might have set up the sports center, basketball court. તો આ જે કંઈ પણ સેટઅપ કરવું હશે, Google might have incurred a huge cost. And HR manager might have put the proposal to the top management that we should do this thing for our employees. So the first thing is that a manager must have that courage, he must have that much of guts to put the proposals to the top management, and he must have that convincing power along with the courage. It would be very important, right, that a manager must have that convincing power so that top management would be ready to invest for employees. Otherwise, employees ne human asset બનાવવા, it's not an easy task. HR is literally taking a huge pain to convince the top management that we have to invest a huge amount for our employees. Employees always comes first. So employees first effect, it's not easy to bring into the organization. And that's why HR manager must possess the quality of courage and convincing power. Moving ahead to the interest in people or interest in employees, he must be a person who is having very good interactive skills and interpersonal skills. Then and only then he can be a good manager, good HR manager, isn't it? See, તમારું લોકોનું suppose if you have a friend circle or if you have a group of friends, then some would be the friends that who would be having a very good tuning with each and every friend. અને આમાંથી 2-3 ફ્રેન્ડ્સ એવા હશે કે જે ફટ કરીને ઝઘડી જતા હશે, ભલે પછી બીજા દિવસે પાછા ભેગા થઈ ગયા હોય, યા તો ઇટ મે ટેક 6 months to patch up with the friends. પણ in between ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક દરેક ગ્રુપમાં we would be having some persons who are very good at this thing, the interpersonal skills, and they are able to convince both the friends, those who had a fight with each other. તો આ બેને ભેગા કરવાનું કામ આ ત્રીજા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ કરતા હોય, રાઈટ. આપણે ઘણું બધા એવા મૂવીઝ બી જોઈએ છે, those who are based on friendship. say દિલ ચાહતા was that kind of movie, right? 3 friends and there was a fight between 2 friends. So the third is making the efforts to have the patch up in the first 2 friends. So this is what is very much required, that a person must have a very good interpersonal and interactive skills, and for that he must have interest in people. Otherwise મારે શું આવી ટાઈપની મેન્ટાલિટી હશે, who cares, right? મને શું ફેર પડે છે? If this is the thinking of a person, I tell you, the person can never be a good HR manager. HR manager is always, best HR manager બનેલા લોકો હશે ને, they are always the people those who are always concerned with other person's pain. They're able to feel what the other person is passing from. So that is very much required, that the person must have interest in other persons. Otherwise તમને બીજા લોકોની અંદર કંઈ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ જ નહીં હોય, you can never be a good HR manager. ખબર છે તમે નાના હશો ને ત્યારથી ક્યારેક ને ક્યારેક આપણે વસ્તુ જોયેલી હશે કે વેન યુ માઇટ હેવ ગોન ટુ સ્કૂલ્સ એન્ડ ઇફ વન ઓફ યોર ફ્રેન્ડ્સ ઇઝ ક્રાઇંગ તો આમ એની આજુબાજુ આપણે બધા ભેગા મળીને વોટ હેપન્ડ વાય આર યુ ક્રાઇંગ પ્લીઝ શેર વિથ અસ. આવું આપણે સાંભળેલું હશે, જોયેલું હશે અને કદાચ તમે આ વસ્તુ કરેલી પણ હશે. રાઈટ. પછી આપણે બહુ નાના હોય એટલે આપણાથી ન મળતા દેન વોટ યુ આર ડુઈંગ, યુ આર આસ્કિંગ યોર ટીચર કે મેમ શી ઇઝ ક્રાઇંગ એન્ડ વી આર ઓલ્સો આસ્કિંગ એન્ડ શી ઇઝ નોટ એન્સરિંગ એનીથિંગ દેટ વોટ હેઝ હેપન ટુ હર. આવું ઘણી વખત કોલેજમાંય થતું હશે ને, ક્યારેક કોઈક ફ્રેન્ડ રડતી હોય ને એની પાછળ પડી જશું આપણે પૂછવા માટે કે શું થયું. એન્ડ સમ અધર પીપલ દે વિલ બી લીસ્ટ બોધર્ડ કે હશે કાંઈક રહ્યો હતો ને એનું પર્સનલ પ્રોબ્લેમ હશે, આપણે શું કામ એમાં માથું મારવું જોઈએ. બોથ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ પીપલ આર ધેર ઇન ટુ ધ સોસાયટી. પણ જે ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈપ ઓફ પીપલ છે they can be very good HR manager. And the second kind of people કે let them deal with their problem, it's none of my business. ઘણી વખત આવું વિચારવાવાળા લોકો પણ હોય કે we shouldn't interfere in somebody's life. Let them handle in their own way. Now if this is the case, such kind of people can never be a very good HR manager. નહીં બની શકે. And see, Western culture is more like the second kind of people. And that's why, see, the children, those who become independent after, 16 years or 18 years, they become very much independent to take all the decisions. And even parents do not interfere in their decisions. અને આપણે તો કે ગમે ત્યાં જાતા હોય, ગમે એવડા થઈ ગયા હોય તો આજે તું ક્યાં કપડાં પહેરીશ, મમ્મીને યા તો ઇવન વી આર હેવિંગ દેટ મચ ઓફ બોન્ડિંગ વિથ આર પેરેન્ટ્સ કે વી આર ગોઈંગ ટુ આસ્ક આ ભાઈ મમ્મા આ રક્ષાબંધન ઉપર હું કયો ડ્રેસ પહેરું, હું શું પહેરું, આના વેડિંગમાં જવાનું છે તો. સો ઇફ યુ આર આસ્કિંગ દેટ, if we talk of Indian culture, that people are having very much kind of importance for other human being. We don't find it much in Western cultures, and that's why now they have realized this particular thing and they have started moving towards Indian values and Indian cultures. પણ હવે આપણે આંધળી દોટ મૂકી દીધી વેસ્ટર્નની પાછળ, and forgetting our values, forgetting our cultures, and that's why we find that more and more of nuclear families are there emerged in our society. But whatever we get from joint family, a nuclear can never give you. No doubt, both of the families would be having its own pros and cons. I'm sorry, it was, yeah. Oh my God, I have taken lots of your time. We would be continuing with our discussion in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Sorry for taking your more time. Stay home and stay safe.